Good evening, everyone. It is September 30th, and today I'm going to do chapter 5 for the synopsis of Game Changer. It's the new relationship book, which I co-authored with Michael, but I will be doing them from now on. He has a new focus and a new goal. And so this is chapter 5. There's 11 chapters, and I'll do one each week. And then I'm starting a whole new series. I'm collaborating with somebody else on a lot of self-discovery. So Game Changer was written because of the shifts and the challenges in relationships right now. Okay? It's meant to come with a new model. I actually started it about 7 years ago. I do a lot of astrology. We've moved from a lot of codependency into more interdependent relationships. But the key is that you have to be independent. And so you should really understand who you are, be able to be independent in all areas of your life, and then you can move into an interdependent relationship. For me, the big thing was that I had been a teacher for about 20 years. I have 3 adult children, grandchildren, and a great-grandchild. I've done a lot of work in a diverse area. I'm a member of the divorce committee, and I see a lot of challenges with baby dads. Lisa Lynch has a really good series on YouTube where we have a lot of parent alienation, and the divorce committee in Alberta was set up through the justice system is part of it, in that the children are being used as chattels. So it's about money and it's about power struggles, okay? And so they have now found that it is a form of abuse, parent alienation, because the cognitive abilities of a child can be jeopardized, so they're not going to reach their full potential. And we have a lot of depression in children. We have a lot of suicide, a lot of drug abuse. So there's a lot of up-to-date information that you can find from psychology today and a lot of different areas. So anyway, the chapter 5 is called "It is Not About You Anymore." Okay? So anyone can have a child and call themselves a parent. A real parent is someone who puts that child above their own selfish needs and wants. That was an anonymous quote. So a lot of people get married. I mean, there's a big thing out there right now. Women are purchasing pregnancy tests. And so they show their boyfriend that they're living with that they're pregnant. And so he right away says, okay, we're going to get married. So they get married. And then she says, well, I had a miscarriage. So I guess, why do you want to have children? Okay. And I've heard so many young women say, well, I want to be a mother. But I go, but you can't even take care of yourself. So how are you going to take care of a child? And it's not just the financial part, okay? You've got to be a good homemaker. You've got to be able to have time management. By the time I was 23, I had 3 children and had opened my own business. But I was very focused, very organized, okay? My family was my main thing in life. And so we want you to take the time, because there's lots of questions in here on the self-discovery. And it's about, have you talked about having a child? When would you have that? And there's a lot of questions here that you have to answer. What would happen if you lost your partner? How would you be able to take care of that child? Okay. And so there's a lot to think about. I do have to say, I quit teaching in 2015, and I had taught for over 20 years off and on, because I've done a lot of other stuff. I've been an author and worked and traveled internationally, so that I've seen the change in what's happening in the high schools. And so my last 5-year stint was at Calgary at the CT Center, and it was a really kind of a high-profile apprenticeship program for hairstyling. And you had to have a B.Ed to be a teacher there. And of course, I'm quite prominent in the beauty industry because I've been in it over 50 years. I was a competitor, a master judge, and did a lot of work, a spa consultant, written books for Milady. You can see them on my websites. But I was really proud, and now I'm just about 2 months ago, I went to one of the gals' weddings, and it's so good to see how well they've done, not professionally and spiritually and relationship-wise, health-wise. They're quite whole beings, and they've got great relationships. But first and foremost, they've done very well themselves, okay? And I found that when I was in high school, there was very few children that came from, most of them were from blended families. The families weren't together, but they were very wise souls. I used to call them spotlights, and anybody that's watching this that was with me during those years will know that. My approach was one of reality. I was preparing them for the real world. It wasn't fluff and puff. And I'm very proud of them. And it's so good to go back and be invited to a wedding and see how well they've done in their partnership, in their relationship. In some of them are owning their own homes now, and they do a lot of traveling. So it's really good. So take the time to get a copy of Game Changer and really read that chapter. It asks some really, really tough questions before you decide to have children. It's like, and if you do, when? And if you don't, a lot of people will say, well, my parents wanted to have a grandchild, so that's why I've done it, or everybody pushed me into doing it. And it's a big choice. It's not like a doll. It's definitely not like a pet that you can put into a kennel. And some of the things is, so if you lose your job, these are big things, or you have a health issue. So if the child is born with some challenges, are you financially able to take care of the child and your daily basic needs if the other partner leaves? Now that's a male or a female. I'm not going one way or the other. So if the woman decides to leave, well, the man's going to have to get a nanny and keep working. If the man decides to leave, well, the woman is going to have to keep working and get a nanny. So does she have a good career? Okay, that's the main thing. And if your marriage did not work out, your children are going to be the product of a broken family, which, just look at the statistics. It is not desirable. And you will be the main provider. So how are you going to do that? Okay. And we have a section called the toolbox, which I'll talk about later. And it said if you do have children, we have a lot of and I don't think I don't love children. I love them, okay? And I have a lot of compassion and empathy because they weren't asked to be brought into the world. You brought them into the world, okay? So how are you going to raise them? I'm not really down. It's just like they're life's greatest gifts. I sometimes think that because of the different levels of consciousness, that we have to have a license to drive a car. Maybe we have to have a license to have children. Anyway, so that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions or comments, I would like you to subscribe, of course, if you find any value in the videos. And I will be doing a book signing in October, actually in Spruce Grove at Coles Indigo. We have the date, but we haven't got the times, and I'll let you know. So I'll be there signing books. So get your copy of Game Changer. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it through Audible if you like audio. There's ebooks. And thank you so much for taking your valuable time. I really appreciate it. And I do hope this is helpful. So much love, many blessings. And we're just in the middle of this beautiful new moon. New beginnings. Thank you.